Topwater fishing is probably the most exciting type of bass fishing, but when the topwater bite isn't on, there's a simple and deadly adjustment you can make to get the bass to bite. And that's what Chad Hoover's going to look at in this week's Kayak Fishing Tip, brought to you by Wilderness Systems, makers of the Ride, Tarpon, and Commander series of premium fishing kayaks.
All right, so I'll admit that I'm one of those people that is really fond of a topwater bite, so much so that a lot of times I will go down with the ship to not catch a fish, to just keep trying to make the topwater bite work. So I've got a lure that lately has become my go-to lure for this kind of situation. And what it is it's the Bombshell Turtle. And you may have heard of it already. Kind of works off the premise that a bass, a turtle is a natural enemy of a bass. They're nest raiders, and you can rig it with just a standard 3 or 4/0 wide gap worm hook and then put a weight in front of it. But there's so much stringy grass in here, the way we're going to rig it today, at least initially, is we're just using a screw lock hook with a keel weight on it and screw that down nice and tight up against the eye of the hook. And there's a slit in the belly for rigging it. You just bring it in and line it up with the mark, put your thumb there, and then bring that hook through to where it just sits up on top of the back and just slightly skin it. Because it's keel weighted and because these legs are facing away from each other, if you cast it out and let it fall, it actually flutters down, almost like it's on a parachute. When you use the weight in the front, it'll dive and climb, which can be a really realistic presentation. I just don't want to mess with this grass. So, Jeff, what we're going to do is we're going to glide this by casting it out and letting it hit the water. You just kind of lift your rod tip up and then let it glide in until there's a swoop in the line, fall, and then you're going to reel your slack up, raise your rod tip up about 3 or 4 inches deep, you know. And when it falls down, it can actually settle on the grass. You can snatch it up out of there and it'll come out of there clean, because the keel weight will set it down on the grass and the legs almost act like landing gear. So keep just a tiny little bit of skin in there, put a little bit of that crawfish scent on there, and let's go hit these pockets and reel these edges with the Bombshell Turtle and see if we can change this slow bite into a show bite.
I've actually, the one and only smallmouth that I've caught and ate was one that I gut hooked. It really broke my heart. I let it go like 3 times, and 3 times it swam off, and I filleted it, split it open, and in its belly, a turtle about that size. So I'd never really thought much of it until he brought these and showed them to me, but it makes perfect sense, you know. They're opportunistic feeders. In the water, on the surface, right below the surface. Pretty cool.